They told me you can't do that here, Beanie. It might sound good in one of your books, but this is a construction site. You can't build a learning environment here. But I didn't start with a touchy-feely feel-good program or some poster. It started with a shelf. One shelf, a few books, a marble, a cricket ball, and a football. That's how you build a learning environment. Not with noise, but with signals. Signals that say, we improve here and we think here. We actually give a about getting better together. Human beings don't just need motivation. They need a purpose, autonomy, and a shot at mastery. When you build that into your environment, your team will grow and they will improve. And what happens next is they start to own the change with you. You want to build your culture? Start with a shelf.
All right, how you spin up fast. I'm going to play that video from Boo in a minute. The secret of spinning up fast. How the RAAF do it. A lot of leaders think that holding information back keeps them in control. I'll tell you a story. I was on a project years ago. This is going way back, 2013. And I was ordering tooling. We had a couple hundred people coming to site. And they said, Beanie, put a list together of what tooling that you want. So, no worries. I said, what's your budget? Where are the budgets for tooling? Oh, we don't really have any budgets, Beanie. Okay, so what am I basing this on? Oh, you just tell us what you need. Okay, no dramas. Oh, mate, Beanie writes a big list up. This is the stuff that we need to move the quickest. It was based on, I didn't even know theory of constraint back then, but I understood that the biggest expense on any project is people standing around out in the paddock without something to do. Labour is your number one expense. You want to keep that moving. That is the constraint. That's where you burn in your cash. Anyway, so I come up with this list and they're looking at it and they're going, well, you can't just have everything, Beanie. I'm like, well, you told me what do I need to build the job. You don't have a budget. That's what I need based on the lack of information that you're giving me. And I used to be a bit of a, I still am, a bit of a smart ass, right? So they said to me, they said, well, it's not a bottomless bucket. You can't just keep buying stuff. I said, well, tell you what, when I start scraping my knuckles on the bottom of it, let me know. When I've hit the bottom, tell me. But I had no clear constraint around what I needed. And every time you hold your cards close to your chest like that, the PM didn't want to tell me what the budget was because his theory was if you tell superintendents what the budgets are, they'll spend all of it. Now, we may well have done that, but that's beside the point. Another construction manager used to say that he used to hate when, well, same job, me and the other superintendent would order something and he'd always question the quantities. And we go, why do you always question the quantity? We always did put a little bit more on top because we always knew he was going to knock a bit off, right? So why do you always question our quantities? Because he goes, I know what your superintendents are like. He said, if someone says, I need 2 pink elephants, you'll go, I'll just get 6 of them, we'll use them somewhere. So every time that you hold those cards too close to your chest, you don't pass on the information that people really need to do their job properly, you're creating a constraint that's slowing the whole system down. Anyway, I'll let our mate Boo tell you a little bit more about if you want to move up to that next level, here's the quickest way to do it.
Yeah, it's a great world. The challenge with it is people just see it as a fighter pilot thing and it doesn't work in my world. And we've seen that with Afterburner, the company that I own, working in the NFL, working in some of the biggest companies on the planet, working in hospitals with surgeons. So we got this covered. We know what we're doing. We don't need any help. That's the fundamental issue here. You'll never be on top.
We got this covered. We know what we're doing. We don't need any help. Ever heard any of those things come out of someone's mouth on a construction paddock?
Of it. You'll never know everything. And the more you move towards egocentric, hierarchical leadership, the more you open yourself up to your blind spots letting you down. Every fighter pilot that comes you ever speak to, we will all have that exactly the same story. And that every 2 years you're plonked into a job or a role you've got no idea. And you have to spin up really quickly to be a competent leader within that environment, which means, and this is what people, I guess, forget about leadership, is it's hard. Like you've got a lot to do and you've got to be the one that sets the standard and learns the fastest and be the example that everyone mimics to make sure that you build a culture that values. What a great job. Yeah, it's a great world. The challenge,
Let's just replay that last little bit there again.
I guess, forget about leadership is it's hard. Like, you've got a lot to do.
Leadership's hard. You got a lot to do.
And you've got to be the one that sets the standard and learns the fastest and be the example.
You've got to be the one that sets the standards, learns the fastest, and be the example that everyone follows.
Mimics to make sure that you build a culture that values doing a great job. Yeah,
that is the way that you build a culture that values doing a great job. That's exactly what we're doing inside construction school. That's what we're building. It's a place where you go and do deliberate practice so that you can have, we're having tech troubles here today, everyone engaged every day. That's how we remove the constraints and move the fastest. All right, ORCA. Now I'm going to get in a bit of trouble here with my old mate ORCA because I didn't do it yesterday. He's not going to be happy, but we're going to give it the business and get it done today. And then it's Friday, so we're off to pub for a schooner. Ready to start, Claude. I wonder if that transcribes that bit about the schooner. Puppery's good. Oh, what puppery's good is. How it got that out of what I said, I don't know. I know I've got an Aussie accent, but home or travel day? Home. I didn't update that either. It's 2, Mrs. Beanie. You're 2 from 2. Why does it say hi and can't transcribe home? I don't speak that bad, surely. Welcome back, another day. April 23. Actually, I'm going to have to stop you right there. It's April 24 because I missed doing ORCA here yesterday. I did it myself somewhere else, but I didn't do it here on the app. Here's where I start getting in trouble. Why didn't you do it? No, April 24, there's a miss to debrief. What was the objective yesterday that didn't get done here? I didn't get the live done yesterday. Why not? I had a late change of plans and had to end up going down to Brisbane late in the afternoon for a meeting. By the time I got back, it was almost 8 o'clock last night and I was over it and too tired to do the live. Wasn't too tired to do live. I still managed to do that. Same pattern as before, long day fatigue, live didn't happen. Was this trip planned or did it come up on the day? It came up on the day, it wasn't planned. It was a curveball and that's what happens. But if we go to the flawless execution formula, my real objective is to make sure I do ORCA every day, which I did. I just didn't go live. See if you let me off for that. Probably won't. Probably call me out. Good distinction. The ORCA got done, not live. Mission complete, format adjusted. So there's no real gap. You ducked into the curveball and still executed. Are we debriefing yesterday's miss or are we running today's ORCA fresh? Run today's ORCA fresh. You run ORCA with your team yet? Drop a comment. Hot dog if you have, not a hot dog if you haven't. Welcome back. Step 1, lock in the objective. Bania, what was today's objective? Today's objective was to do a live stream with Jason Schroeder from Elevate Construction. And we did that on cause 6 of the 12 causes of project management failure. We're nearly out of limit with old mate Claude too. We're at 90%. Hopefully we get through this before we hit our token limit. Good objective. What's the tokens? Reset. But run a live stream with Jason Schroeder on cause. Cause, not course. Cause 6 of the 12 causes. Got it. Cause 6, not course 6. Did it happen? Yes, it was. We did it live on YouTube. Good. What was the result? Really good episode. Jason really liked the angle that I took with it on engaging management support. It was an angle that he hadn't really thought of before, and he said how much he enjoyed that episode. Content landed, new angle surface, host engaged. That's a win. Is there a gap anywhere? Are we debriefing a win? Yeah, I'll tell you about the gap. So what I did on the intro in Ecamm Live, there is a couple of different ways of playing video. So normally when it flicks from scene to scene, I'll have a video embedded into it, for want of a better word, and you flick it to the scene and it shuts the video off. Today I had to play it through YouTube because I was a little bit lazy getting ready for it. I didn't have it embedded, so I just played it through my phone to YouTube, flicked to the next scene, and the video played again because it just does a loop on YouTube. And for about 5 or 6 seconds, I couldn't work out what was going on. So that was a process failure. Go back here, then we go here, then we go there. We'll go down there. Good, so the gap is setup failure. Video wasn't embedded properly, played twice, 5 seconds of confusion on air. Why wasn't it embedded the way that it normally is? Because I was again late home from the meeting, so I didn't have time to prep properly. This is all coming down to the 6Ps, isn't it? And I didn't download, because I've got to download the video to embed it. I didn't have time to do all that. I didn't get up with enough time this morning to get all that done. So I tried to take a shortcut and use a process that I wouldn't usually use, and it failed. Well, it didn't fail, but still got the mission complete, still executed flawlessly, but it was a hiccup. Oh man, this is starting to get annoying. Got to be a way to fix this. There's your root cause. Late night before meant insufficient prep time in the morning. Took a shortcut on the video. Bad process. Ever heard of someone doing something like this when we have an incident on site? Yeah, I'll just leave that there. Better process that created a live hiccup. It's an execution, prioritization, and error omission, and it connects directly back to yesterday's lesson. Protect the energy and the time the night before. One action. Who does what by when? I need to create a prep checklist, 9-point checklist for podcasts. I will do that with Claude tomorrow before I run tomorrow's live, which will be later in the afternoon because it's a Saturday. Actually, that's a good point. Let's see if he picks up on it being Saturday tomorrow, because he was supposed to ask me a question about this. Beanie creates 9-point prep checklist for Ecamm Live with Claude tomorrow before the afternoon live. By when tomorrow? Well, you should be able to tell me when, because we set some rules around this, and by now you should have asked me, is tomorrow Saturday? Because we set specific rules around what time I do something on a Saturday. What are they? You should have it baked into your prompt. See what he does. You're right. And I should have caught that automatically. Saturday time live runs 4 to 6. So checklist needs to be done before 4 p.m. tomorrow. Benny creates 4 9-point ECAM prep checklists with Claw before 4 p.m. tomorrow. Live runs 4 to 6. And the Friday reminder. Today is Friday, Saturday runs live. Is it in the calendar? What's the objective for tomorrow? Objective for tomorrow is to go live again, and we'll do a recap of everything that we've covered this week, including the failure points. Go live 4 to 6 p.m. Saturday, recap of the week, including the failure points. 24 days, Jason Schroeder live done, new angle landed, and a process hiccup that came straight back to the root cause. Same root cause, protect the night before, so the morning has room to prep properly. That's the pattern, it keeps showing up. That's what 24 debriefs look like, the same root causes surfacing until the standards hold. Imagine that would be what that would be like if you were doing that on your site consistently. See you tomorrow 4 to 6 p.m. All right, remember the school motto, our MTP. Everyone on a construction site, no matter where in the world they are, engaged every day. How much difference would that make to our construction sites, our communities, and our economies? Think about that for a minute. When you're ready, head across, ready to spin up quicker, join construction school. Really want to spin up quicker, join the Catalyst Academy or the Stealth Team Lab. Take it, use it, make it a great week, and we'll speak soon. Come on. Or as an move. This has been the Trouble Mode Coach, and I want to tell you about a new pilot program that I've got starting this month that I think might just be of interest to you. So it's specifically for 2 types of people. Number 1 is you're stuck at a certain level in the construction industry and you can't seem to step up to that next level. Or number 2 is you got the reverse problem like I had, where you get thrown in the deep end and you think, what the am I supposed to do now? How did you get into the position that you're currently in? I'm going to tell you a quick story about how I got most of my career I spent as a construction superintendent. Anyway, digress a little bit. This is how I actually became a superintendent. So I was on a little gold mine down in Bendigo in Victoria, and the superintendent, I was the supervisor at this point in time. I'd actually only just come off the tools. I had a lot of supervisory experience before, but I'd been on the tools on a job in Darwin. Supervisor there really liked me. He brought me down to this job as a supervisor, and one day my superintendent walked up to me and goes, "Hey Bernie." "Yeah, Pete." "I just sacked the construction manager." He said, "I'm the construction manager now," and he said, "You're now superintendent." And I went, "That's great, Pete. Appreciate your confidence in me." But I said, "What the does superintendent do?" So if you're stuck stepping up to that next level, or you've been thrown in the deep end like I was, he looked at me, I'll never forget these words. He said, "You're a smart boy, you'll figure it out." Message me the word sweat more, and what I'll do is I'll send you through a link where you can book in for what's known as a triage chat, which is just a quick 15-minute call where we get together to see if we think we might be a good fit to work together or not. Because as a Spartan warrior said, if you sweat more in training, you'll bleed less in war. Speak soon.
You son of a bitch! I'm in!